In a quiet village wrapped in green forests and flowing rivers, there once lived a girl whose beauty became her greatest weakness. Her name was Cynthia. From the day she was born, people whispered that she was not ordinary. Her skin shone in the sunlight. Her eyes were bright and sharp. Her smile could stop conversations. Even elders would shake their heads and say, "This one will cause trouble someday." But beauty, when praised too much, can grow into pride. Every morning, while roosters crowed and farmers walked toward their fields, Cynthia sat before a small mirror. It was her most prized possession. She studied her reflection the way a queen studies her crown. She would tilt her head and smile. "No one compares to me," she often said softly. "I am meant for royalty." Her mother would call from the kitchen, asking for help with chores. Cynthia always refused. She believed her hands were too delicate for work. Too special for ordinary life. As the years passed, her friends began to marry. Not princes. Not kings. Just hard-working men with honest hearts. Cynthia mocked them. She laughed at their husbands' worn sandals and simple homes. She promised herself she would never settle for less than a throne. But something was quietly changing. One busy afternoon at the village market, Cynthia dressed in her finest clothes and walked proudly through the crowd. People stared, but not all stares were kind. Then it happened. She collided with an elderly woman carrying firewood. The wood scattered across the dusty ground. The old woman fell to her knees. It was Mama Michael, the most respected elder in the village. Gasps filled the air. Instead of helping, Cynthia frowned in disgust. She insulted the woman for standing in her way. The market fell silent. Mama Michael slowly stood up. Her voice was calm, but her words carried weight. "You worship your reflection," she said quietly. "Soon it will abandon you." That night, Cynthia noticed her mirror had cracked. By morning, her scream echoed across the village. Her smooth skin had turned rough. Her hair thinned. Her bright eyes lost their sparkle. The girl who once shone like sunlight now avoided her own shadow. Panic turned to regret. She searched for Mama Michael to beg forgiveness, but the old woman had vanished. Days passed. Cynthia hid from the world she once ruled with pride. The same villagers she mocked now whispered about her misfortune. Then a traveler arrived with strange news. Her curse, he said, would only break if she married the ugliest man alive. Not for appearance. Not for gain. But with a sincere heart. Soon after, a man appeared at her family's door. He was older than anyone she had ever known. Bent, wrinkled, unpleasant in every way. His manners were worse than his appearance. Cynthia's heart trembled. But she agreed. The wedding was small and silent. No music. No celebration. Married life tested her in ways beauty never had. The man was demanding and unkind. He complained constantly. He embarrassed her in public. He gave her no comfort. Yet something unexpected happened. Cynthia changed. She began helping others without being asked. She apologized to those she once hurt. She carried water for elders. She fed hungry children. She learned patience. She learned kindness. For the first time in her life, she stopped thinking about herself. One night, under a quiet sky, she whispered a simple prayer. "If I am ever restored, let me never forget this lesson." That night, Mama Michael appeared in her dream. "You have already been restored," the old woman said gently. "True beauty begins inside." When Cynthia awoke, she felt different. She looked into a bowl of water and gasped. Her outward beauty had returned. But this time, her eyes carried softness. Her smile carried humility. The curse was gone. The old husband, who had been part of her lesson, left peacefully. His purpose fulfilled. In time, a noble prince visited the village. He had heard of the young woman who transformed her heart. He did not fall in love with her face. He fell in love with her character. Their wedding brought joy to the entire village. But Cynthia never returned to her old ways. She greeted elders with respect. She honored her parents. She served others quietly. And she no longer needed a mirror to feel worthy. Because she finally understood something powerful. Beauty fades. Pride destroys. But a humble heart shines forever. Moral: outer beauty may open doors, but inner beauty keeps them open.